What's going on, everybody? It's Coach Dylan bringing you guys another exercise demo today. We're going to be talking about the squat, which is widely accepted as one of the best lower body exercises that you can do even with no equipment or weights, just your body. That's all you really need. Today, we're going to be specifically talking about the squat depth. What is it and why is it important to get that proper squat depth? I'm going to be showing you a few different examples of what is not proper squat depth, and then of course a few examples of what is proper squat depth. So without wasting any time, let's just jump right into it. So first and foremost, why is it important to get proper squat depth? Now the reason behind this is because you don't want to overstress those joints, but you do want to get the most out of your muscles and essentially make the exercise as efficient as possible. We don't want to be wasting any time when we're doing these squats. We want to get the most out of it by, again, hitting that proper squat depth. We're going to break it down into two categories, which is not squatting deep enough, so being too shallow in that squat, and then squatting too deep. Now, yes, you can squat too deep. That is a question I get all the time. I thought squatting deeper the better, but no, that is not the case. Again, we'll get into it in just a second. But first, we're going to be going over the shallow portion. The reason why you don't want to go too shallow is essentially that you're not getting the most range of motion out of those muscles, and those muscles aren't being as efficiently used as possible to get you through that squat motion. We want to make sure that we're going deep enough to get the fullest range of motion out of those muscles. And really, again, it's all about efficiency here, getting the most out of each squat repetition that you do. As you can see here, I've thrown up some videos that you can see what a shallow, not deep enough squat is going to look like. So you can see it's basically what's considered a half squat. Now you may have heard of the half squat position before, whether it's potentially a deadlift cue, even some lunges, or some other exercises. The half squat is a position that may be talked about, but don't be confused, it is not proper squat depth. All right, so that brings us to too deep of a squat. Now, the reason why you don't want to go too deep as shown here is because you are putting a lot of tension and pressure into those joints, specifically the knees, even going into the hips and ankles as well. Now again, risk versus reward, we don't want to be getting too crazy with too much range of motion, but we do want to get the most out of each squat. So that's why going too shallow is not going to get the most out of those muscles, but going too deep is going to be really pushing those joints, and that's not something that we want to do. This brings us to that happy medium, which is that perfect squat depth, about 90-degree angle there at the knee, those hips being parallel. Also the tops of the quads could also look parallel to the ground as well. So this is the perfect squat depth where you're really going to, again, get the most range of motion out of those muscles, really getting the most efficiency out of those muscles that are going to help you through that squat motion, as well as not going too deep to where you then start to aggravate and then put a lot of pressure and tension on those joints. This is the perfect medium, perfect squat depth, and this is how you're going to get the most out of those squats. So remember, nothing too shallow, nothing too deep, getting the most out of those muscles, but not pushing those joints too far. I hope you guys learned something, and of course, as always, if you have any more questions or want me to go into any more depth into each one of these parts, I try to keep these videos pretty simple, pretty straightforward, but feel free to drop any questions or concerns you guys have down in the comments. I'd be happy to get back to you, or even film a whole in-depth squat video for you guys if there is enough of that demand. As always, this is Coach Dylan. This is your exercise tip of the day. I hope you guys learned something. Be sure to follow, comment, subscribe, keep up to date with me, as I will definitely be bringing you guys more of these videos to come. Enjoy. Peace.